Welcome to my Brush with Nature studio. I'm painting a rosella, a crimson rosella. They're a beautiful, colourful bird, very familiar to southeastern Australia. I'm working with the Copic pens. I've already pre-sketched out my paper. I'm using one of the bleed-proof papers and I'm putting down some of my lighter tints. Then I'm going into the middle tones. And I'm working with the blending sketch pen tip and blurring out the tones. By using the good bleed-proof paper, I can get a certain amount of blending. I like to paint rather than draw, so I love the really high-quality blending effects that I can get with a really polished surface paper where the ink isn't bleeding into the paper but sitting on the top, which allows me to get back in and blend it around and get that lovely painterly effect. I'm working on a time lapse with this so that you can see the work progress faster than I've actually done it. Now, I've actually refilled this pen with some of the high quality alcohol that's sold for refilling pens and for cleaning with, so the ink's a little bit runnier than it comes when you buy it, and I've actually had a bit of a spill there, so I've got a cotton bud handy and I was able to pick up the spill very quickly, and then I actually used that cotton bud and rubbed it around and literally painted with the ink-soaked cotton. It's quite effective. As I said, I love painting rather than drawing, so I like to get the ink as fluid as I can to get some lovely effects. I could actually fall in love with working with the Copics, but not in the way that most alcoholic painters are using them. I don't do the very tight drawings because I come to the Copic pen after a 65-year career as a painter. My work with the Copic pen tends to be a lot more painterly than many of the Copic pen workers. Now, when you paint birds that are flying, they're not stiff and tight. There's movement. If you were watching a bird fly, you wouldn't be able to see it in crisp focus. So if you put it in, blend it away, get that feeling of movement. It's just a wisp of colour that you just glance through the trees. Now, when I do a small painting with detail, I can put hours into that painting. I could put up to 10 hours into a work, even this size, for detail. So I can't show you all the detailing that goes on in this quick little few minute long videos. I can only show you how I work, and if you could imagine progressing on and taking hours of detailing, that's how you get the very tight detail in the final bird. But I like to have most of the work out of focus and only one focal point in focus. And there's my crimson rosella. I hope you enjoyed and you can learn something from it. I achieved the highlights on the crimson rosella by picking out the darks with alcohol soaked into the point of a pointed cotton bud, and I lifted out, and that's how I achieved all these highlights.